The movie begins with a popular TV host, Pat Novak, running a program where he passionately talks about how America could protect its citizens without risking the lives of police officers. To prove his point, he invites General Curtis Monroe, who joins live from the Pentagon. Monroe explains that in their recent overseas operations they deployed powerful robotic units. There are massive machines called ED-209s for heavy combat and smaller, more human-like robots known as EM-208s that handle routine security duties. He highlights how these robots can scan civilians, search homes, and ensure order without shedding a single drop of American blood. According to him, the days of losing soldiers in wars like Vietnam, Iraq, or Afghanistan are over, because machines are now capable of doing what once required human sacrifice. Monroe insists that the robots are not just effective but essential for America's foreign policy. Still, the conversation raises an important question: why do many Americans remain uncomfortable with this technology? The story then shifts to Detroit Police Headquarters, where Detective Alex Murphy is struggling with a dangerous case. He tells his superior officers that Antoine Vallon, a local crime boss, is receiving smuggled rifles straight from their own police evidence room. Alex and his partner Jack had attempted to expose the scheme by setting up a deal with Antoine, but someone from within the department betrayed them. The sting failed, Jack was badly injured, and Alex barely survived. He warns his captain that someone on the inside is leaking secrets to Antoine, but she orders him not to make another move without her approval. Alex, however, cannot let go of the thought that fellow officers might be collaborating with criminals. Meanwhile, in Washington, a heated debate unfolds in front of lawmakers. Raymond Sellis, the CEO of OmniCorp, advocates for introducing robotic soldiers on American soil. Opponents challenge him, asking if machines can truly understand the difference between right and wrong. Can a robot feel emotions, they ask, and should lifeless metal really have the authority to decide matters of life and death? Raymond, left speechless, realizes that if he wants to win over the public, he needs a product people can emotionally connect with. Instead of putting machines on the streets, he proposes something new, placing a man inside a machine. At the OmniCorp Research Center, Dr. Dennett Norton is seen working with patients who have been given robotic prosthetics. He demonstrates that while robotics can restore physical movement, emotions are just as vital, because without feeling, life becomes mechanical. When Raymond approaches Norton with the idea of merging man and machine, the doctor hesitates. But soon enough, fate brings them the perfect candidate. Antoine plants a bomb in Alex's car as revenge for interfering in his operations. The explosion leaves Alex with catastrophic injuries, burns across most of his body, a destroyed spine, and very little chance of survival. His wife Clara is devastated, but when Raymond and Norton approach her with their experimental idea of rebuilding Alex as a cyborg, she reluctantly agrees, hoping at least part of him might be saved. 3 months later, the experiment is declared a success. Alex wakes up to find himself inside a robotic suit, his body almost entirely replaced with mechanical parts. Shocked and horrified, he tries to escape the lab, lashing out at Norton and his staff. When Norton finally calms him down, Alex begs to be unplugged, saying he no longer wishes to live in such a state. Norton explains that it was Clara who gave permission, because she still loves him and wanted him alive. Broken but left with no choice, Alex slowly accepts his new reality, even asking never to see his mutilated human body again. When he talks to his wife over video, he tries to sound optimistic, promising he will return home soon. Training begins, and Alex quickly discovers that while he has human thoughts, he is far from matching the speed and efficiency of combat drones. Rick Maddox, a trainer, mocks him, calling him a tin man and laughing at his failures. Later, when Alex browses through files, he finds Antoine Vallon's name missing from the suspect list due to insufficient evidence. Norton concludes that the conflict between Alex's human emotions and robotic programming is lowering his effectiveness. To fix him, they alter his brain so that his software secretly controls his actions, while letting him believe he remains in charge. The result is staggering: his reaction time sharpens, his accuracy improves, and he becomes a powerful hybrid of man and machine. But the haunting truth remains: it's no longer Alex making decisions, it's the software. Soon after, Alex finally goes home to Clara and his son David. But his reunion is unsettling. Emotionless and stiff, he barely acknowledges their presence. His son tries to connect by reminding him of the games he saved for him, but Alex coldly explains he cannot stay, as his robotic systems require constant attention. To David, he no longer feels like a father. To Clara, he feels like a stranger. Despite this, Alex pushes forward, determined to fight crime. When he is introduced to the public outside Detroit Police Headquarters, his system suddenly malfunctions. Overwhelmed by emotions, he collapses. To prevent further breakdowns, Norton is ordered to suppress his dopamine levels to almost zero, stripping Alex of his emotions entirely. He becomes a hollow shell, scanning people without recognition, even ignoring his own wife and son in the crowd. In his new state, Alex identifies and captures a fugitive named Thomas King right in front of a cheering audience. The public and media celebrate him as a hero, while OmniCorp sees him as a marketing triumph. Detroit's crime rates drop, and suddenly Americans begin warming up to the idea of merging robotics with law enforcement. Raymond sees dollar signs, but Clara notices her husband slipping further away, becoming less human each day. She pleads for access to him but is repeatedly blocked by OmniCorp, who fear that his family might reawaken his emotions. Eventually, Alex overrides his programming while investigating his own attempted murder. He learns from CCTV footage that his young son witnessed his broken body in the hospital, a traumatic sight that scarred the boy. Fueled by love and rage, Alex restores his suppressed emotions, defying his programming. He then targets Antoine Vallen's network, arresting and dismantling his operations. During this rampage, he uncovers corruption within his own department, realizing that Jack, his former partner, was one of the officers leaking information to Antoine. Jack pleads with him, but Alex refuses to forgive, exposing him as a traitor. Raymond, alarmed at Alex's independence, orders his destruction. Maddox, the trainer, sets a trap to shut him down permanently. But Norton, who has grown sympathetic to Alex, secretly helps him escape and disables the system that allows OmniCorp to remotely control him. Publicly, however, OmniCorp declares RoboCop dead, attempting to cover their tracks and protect their corporate image. Clara, heartbroken, is manipulated into believing her husband is gone for good. But Alex is far from finished. He hunts Raymond down, who tries to flee by helicopter while holding Clara and David as hostages. A hidden code in Alex's programming prevents him from harming Raymond, who wears a protective red asset tag, labeling him immune from RoboCop's authority. Yet Alex summons the last of his human willpower, breaking free of the digital restrictions. In defiance of the system controlling him, he raises his gun and shoots Raymond, arresting him for attempted murder. The act nearly causes his system to shut down, but his human determination keeps him alive long enough to protect his family. In the aftermath, Alex's body is rebuilt in Norton's lab, and this time Clara and David are allowed to see him openly. Their reunion is emotional, though still trapped in a mechanical body. His heart remains human, and his family finally recognizes him as more than just a machine. The president, upon reviewing evidence provided by Norton, vetoes the repeal of the Dreyfus Act, which would have allowed machines to fully replace human police officers. OmniCorp's corruption is exposed, and the dream of replacing humanity with cold robotics is crushed. Pat Novak, furious at the outcome, accidentally reveals his true loyalties during a live broadcast, ranting bitterly on air while his stunned crew looks on. The story closes on Alex Murphy, once a man destroyed by crime, now reborn as both human and machine. Despite his struggles, he reclaims his humanity, reminding everyone that even inside metal and wires, the heart of a good man can never be silenced. And that's how the movie comes to an end. We'll meet again in the next story. Always stay happy and keep smiling. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and share it with your friends too.